Of the book, Their Jihad, Not My Jihad. She's with us in studio, and so is Miriam Dadaboy, spokesperson for the Canadian Council on American Islamic Relations. And thank you both for coming in as we mark this 10th anniversary of 9/11. And let me ask you right from the get-go about Islamophobia, and I guess I'll begin with you, Raheel, just about Islamophobia in Canada.
Well, first of all, I should correct you when you say I don't believe in the term Islamophobia. Islamophobia is a term that has been coined by a few groups and organizations to stifle any debate and discussion about Muslims and Islam in general. I mean, let's not forget that 9/11 was not a picnic in the park. Its perpetrators were Muslim, and they did it in the name of Islam, self-confessed Muslims, not because I say so. And so in 10 years, there was an opportunity for Muslims to build bridges and reach out to others. But what they did instead was lock themselves up in a fort and throw out the key. And there have been conspiracy theories, and there have been all sorts of issues where anyone who criticized or spoke out was labeled as being Islamophobic. I don't think that there is Islamophobia out there. There are difficulties and there is angst, but then what else is there to be expected? This was a huge tragedy. Thousands of innocent people were killed. And so we have to see that there has got to be some reaction for it. What was the expectation, that everything would just be the same as before?
Do you think there's a phobia, Mary?
I think it does exist, and this is something that's confirmed by the United Nations as well. Being a civil rights group, we have seen a wave of Islamophobia in the past 10 years.
In Canada?
In Canada and in North America generally.
So what do you think this is? Because people interchanged the words, and did right from the get-go of 9/11, Muslim, Arab, Islamism as opposed to Islam.
Exactly.
Talk about that.
Well, that too feeds into the Islamophobia. I think by denying the fact that Islamophobia exists, it's doing injustice to the community, injustice to the victims of who have faced discrimination in society as well.
For any degree of discrimination, do you think, Raheel, that we have learned more about the religion to the positive side where we didn't know before?
Well, Canadians certainly have learned more, and to the point that Maria made, let me point out that statistically in Canada, the police reports have confirmed that there have been more cases of anti-Semitism than there have been of any kind of discrimination. So there's no statistical data to prove that there is, discrimination. Racism, discrimination exists in all societies, in everyone. It has been there before 9/11, and it will continue. However, if you read about what happens after 9/11, I mean, Qurans were sold out. People wanted to know, what is Islam, who are Muslims, and it was a great opportunity for Muslims to do this outreach, but they didn't by large, and so we saw the rise of extremism right here in Canada. We had 18 youth that were picked up in, on charges of terrorism. Right. We've had Momin Khwaja in Ottawa, and we have had the rise of hate rhetoric in mosques. We have seen Saudi Wahhabi-funded organizations coming up, and so when you criticize anything that is Muslim or Islamic, it is perceived as being Islamophobia, and that leads to political correctness, and there hasn't been an honest dialogue for 10 years, so I don't think that the Muslim communities have really learned how to deal with this.
Okay, final word to you, Mary.
I beg to differ. I think the community has done a lot of outreach and dialogue and bridge building since 9/11. Groups such as my own Cair have made a lot of efforts to empower and educate the Muslim community to go out there and be walking, talking ambassadors of Islam to show, and I think most mainstream Canadians understand that the difference between the hijackers and what mainstream Islam means. So I think we need to give credit to that. And in terms of the statistics, the experts also concur that there is a phenomenon of underreporting in the Muslim community. They're afraid to speak out when they feel a backlash or some sort of discrimination because of fear of retribution or shame, and the experts have also confirmed this. So I think, unfortunately, the statistics don't prove the actual amount of hate crime that has existed with the Muslim community.
Well, I thank you both for coming in. We've hardly even scratched the surface, but interesting points from you both. Thank you.